Welcome to the Come Like a Child podcast with your host, Ashley Miner. And I am so excited you are joining me today. You're going to be excited because I have the wonderful, amazing Toni Collier on the podcast today. She is a podcaster herself, writer, author, speaker, mom, friend, and soon to be first timer. Drum roll, please. Half
No,
marathon runner
I would like
walker.
to stop the podcast right now. Okay. She's trying to make me run a marathon. I'm not going to do it, guys. I'm better
Half,
with my words than my legs. Let's go.
half, half.
I ran two
See,
miles
at
just
the
the
end
other
of
day and cried. You know what I mean?
me too, me too. I'm like
Same.
you. I'm not a runner yet, but I'm working on it. I'm
I'm an
working on it.
aspiring runner, an amateur, if I do say so myself.
That's
Okay.
okay. That's okay. You're starting. You're starting.
And that's
You
what
know,
matters, guys.
at the end of your book when you talked about you went to that prophetic conference and you didn't really know. So this may be I don't really know who told me this. Maybe the Lord, maybe we'll find out next year.
It wasn't nobody. This is not nothing about anointing. I'll tell you, the Lord did not tell you that I was going to run that half marathon. I know it. It was your flesh. That was your
It was
flesh. Okay.
it was my flesh. Okay, maybe. I'll ask Jamie.
Maybe.
All right.
I love it.
Man, Toni, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. So the name of the podcast is Come Like a Child, and it referenced from Matthew 18:3, where Jesus says, unless you turn and come like little children, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. So I like to open up and ask each guest, what is your favorite childhood memory?
Okay, I know it. It's actually two of them, so I'm just going to break the rules
It's okay.
here.
You can do two.
I love SpongeBob. Okay, I know that SpongeBob was a little weird. Maybe we should not have been watching SpongeBob. Okay, but there is just something about. I was literally talking to my friend Jackie last night. She had a SpongeBob jacket on, and I was like, I love SpongeBob, and it's like something. I sleep with a SpongeBob Fluffy, a little blow up little doll. And I think it's because I remember I've always been called a Teletubby, like bopping around, funny, goofy, wild, all over the place. And I don't know, SpongeBob was like the first cartoon that I felt like was like, I'm just gonna be myself. Like SpongeBob did not change. He's just a goofy little sponge bopping around, being so loud, but also so kind to everybody, even when they weren't kind to him. Like I don't know, there's something about SpongeBob that really does it for me. Um, but also I will say I remember the first time I watched Madeline, and that one got me
Mm.
too. Okay, it was me and my mom. She was, if you know anything about my story, my mom was really sick growing up, and we weren't able to do a lot of physical things together because of her disabilities. But we watched Madeline together, and it became like one of those little connection points, I guess, for me. And I have a little Madeline doll and everything. That just reminds me of a sweet memory in a really hard season growing up with a mom who was disabled. I became a little caregiver. And so I don't know, I felt like I was Madeline. She was a little orphan, okay? But
Mhm.
she was so happy. She was a leader. And yeah, so those are some of my fun childhood memories.
Wow, I never watched SpongeBob, but I do remember Madeline. Wow, it is
Come
a
on.
great,
I know.
it's a
It's
great
a
story.
solid
I
show.
remember reading
Thank you.
book. Okay,
Woo.
and you got your little SpongeBob shirt on.
I do. Oh, yes. My favorite color as a kid was yellow. It has then since changed to electric peach, okay, which is just neon peach. But I have come back to the butter yellow here lately, and I am loving it.
It
Okay, the
looks good on
SpongeBob
you.
yellow.
It looks good
Thanks.
on you.
Thanks.
Well, Toni, you wrote a book, Don't Try
Yeah.
This Alone.
Yeah.
How to build deep community when you want to hide from your pain.
Yeah.
And you are very vulnerable in this book. I finished the entire book. And I feel like, I could be wrong, I feel like you're a natural at being vulnerable. And it's like you don't wake up and say, I really need to like express today. I mean, there are some hard seasons I'm sure that you walked through, like you've been more
Yeah.
hesitant. I'm also
Yeah.
just a natural vulnerable girl. My best
Yeah.
friend is like, I would never. And I'm like, oh, it just, I don't feel
This
shame,
comes right on
embarrassed.
out.
It's just,
Yeah.
it just comes out. And
Yeah.
so with being vulnerable at
Yeah.
a natural state, we can also tend to overshare. And my
Yeah.
friend of, over a decade, she's said to me a couple of times, Ashley, you're sharing too
Went a
much.
little too
Because
far. A little
a little
too
too far.
far.
A little too
Yeah.
much. And because then I'll come back and tell her like something that happened. And she's like, that's your fault.
That's on
You share
you.
too much.
That's on you. Yeah.
So being vulnerable is
Yeah.
it's so powerful. It
Yeah.
brings connection, it can bring healing. But like where do you draw the line of vulnerability?
Yeah.
Like how does someone learn discernment and what to
Mm.
share and with whom?
Yeah. I've always kind of had this little litmus test. No, I won't, let me not say always, because just like you, like I've just always been vulnerable. I've always been honest. I've always been super open. Again, bopping around like a Teletubby all the time. And I think I've just gotten hurt enough times with my, I don't even want to say that it's a bad thing, but it's a gift with a shadow side. The gift is that I really do love people and I
Hmm.
choose to trust first. And that has just gotten me a lot of betrayal and hurt and pain and some manipulation, all the things. And so I will say maybe over the last 10 years, I have put this kind of litmus test in place with what I share, especially in public as a leader. And it is, am I hopeful about this or am I still bitter? And I think when you run your story or parts of your story through that kind of filter, it shows you and exposes you to where are you spreading hope and where are you spreading discourse and bitterness and anger.
Mm,
And there's been some parts of my story that I could feel like, ooh, I'm sharing this, but I still feel some unforgiveness towards this person. There's still some bitterness there. There's not a lot of hope. And we want to be spreaders of light, not darkness. And so I would say a really good filter for all of us would be asking yourself the question before you share, am I hopeful about this? Or am I bitter? I think the second layer to that is who am I sharing with and has their trust been proven? Has it been tested and
mm,
tried and proven? And what I've had to do is I've had to share, like, I've kind of had to share my story like I'm dating versus being married. And I think
mm,
like, and I do that with partnership deals, with friendships, like let's date before we marry type vibes. Like let's maybe share something that's not so intrusive or not so deep and just see how you hold it and how you respond.
mm,
Because I'm an all in or nothing type girls, which is, our
mhm,
Texas girls are just that way. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
mhm.
you're either my best friend, I'm dying for you, or you're dead
Right,
to me. You know what I mean?
right.
And
Yep.
so I've had to really do a lot of work with trying to find that middle ground of let's just not dive in belly flop, baby. Like let's just maybe put our toes in first. Okay. And
Mhm,
that's been super
mhm.
helpful for me too.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
really good. Like
Yeah.
testing the waters with something light and see how they hold it, because
Yeah.
you can share something, you're like, now the whole world knows. And that was
You
just
done told all
something
my business.
that was
All
just
of it is
something
on the
light.
internets.
And
Correct.
like with the vulnerability, would you say, because I've heard your story many times, it's so
Yeah.
powerful what the Lord has done through and for you. And I
Yeah.
grew up in a dysfunctional home in a sense where I didn't have my biological dad, a single
Yeah.
mom raising five kids. It created an anxious attachment. And you briefly
Yep.
talked about this in one of your chapters.
Yeah.
I don't know where you lean. Where do you lean when you're
Anxious.
insecure? Okay.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Anxious. I'm not avoiding, baby.
It's
I want to dive right on in, but I'm scared you're gonna leave. I know that much. I am nervous. I'm nervous about it. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
I'm, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous.
Yeah.
So with that, I think that's why we probably were natural, if you will,
Uh-huh.
vulnerable people,
Yep.
because when you're insecure, especially when you lean toward anxious, you're seeking for
Yeah.
connection,
Yep.
reassurance, instead of sharing from a place of security. So
Come
knowing
on.
that you lean more toward an anxious attachment, how have you
Yeah.
healed from that? Like, would you say you're 100% secure?
Oh, well, I don't think we're 100% anything. You know what I'm saying? But I will say I don't
Hmm.
give a dang what anybody thinks of me, and I feel like that's a good place to be in, right?
It is. It is.
But it's true. I genuinely do not care what any human being on this entire earth thinks of me because I care the most about what God thinks of me. And if that's the posture, then from that place, I'm going to be kind and I'm going to be
Hmm.
patient and I'm going to have self-control because my care, my foundation is rooted in Jesus. What he
Hmm.
cares about, what he thinks of me. And so I think that's helped a whole bunch with my confidence. It's like I really genuinely, I mean, my mom was a great mom, but she was so sick growing up. And so she was
Hmm.
unable to connect with me deeply, to nurture me deeply, to protect me because, we were caring for her. I was a little caregiver as I grew up and it created this anxious attachment. And I had to learn that, like, genuinely, my attachment has to be deeply rooted in my relationship with Jesus. And
Hmm.
from that place, it's okay if I lose a marriage because I have
Hmm.
Jesus. It's okay
Yeah.
if that dating relationship doesn't work out because we have Jesus. It's okay if that job, that school, that test, that licensing, that whatever doesn't work out because we have Jesus. And
Hmm.
that truly has helped me so very much. I'd also say
Hmm.
choosing good friends has helped me a whole bunch. There's something interesting that happens with our neural pathways when we are in relationships that are healthy. What happens is we start to undo the lies that I can't trust anyone, or
Hmm.
no one is coming for me, or if I say
Hmm.
this, they're going to leave the room, by having people that you can trust, by having people
Hmm.
that are coming for you, by having people where you can say your deepest, darkest, hardest little thing. I battle with alcohol. I've been lustful. I've got a porn addiction. You can say that and they won't leave the room. People can help you heal those anxious attachments too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really good. And so when you
Hmm.
find yourself leaning toward anxiousness, like if you're
Yeah.
afraid that somebody's going to live,
Yeah.
what do you do? Like you said,
Yeah.
I have Jesus. Is that what you quote to yourself? Is that what you say to yourself,
Yeah.
or are there other
Um,
things
I,
you?
well, actually, I just name what's happening.
Mm,
60% of the healing process is being able to name the pain.
okay.
60%.
Wow.
And when you start to say the thing that you feel deeply inside, it releases its power on you in so many ways. Because even when I'm talking to Jesus, I have to say, Jesus, today I feel anxious. Jesus, I'm really nervous about this relationship. Can you help
Hmm.
me? So you have to name it. And sometimes it's naming it in the secret place with your own self. Sometimes it's naming it in the secret place and then going to a trusted friend and saying, hey, like, I want you to hold me accountable on this. I am nervous that I have fallen into a codependent relationship, or I've got a friendship that's turned toxic. And I just want you to be in prayer with me, hold me accountable, and then bringing it to the Lord and saying, Lord Jesus, heal this part of me. I don't want to avoid
Hmm.
it. I don't want to act like it's not happening, but I do want to invite you into it so that you can take me on whatever journey you have for me in healing that thing so that it doesn't have a stronghold on my heart. So
Hmm.
that about
Yeah.
sums up what I do right there.
No,
Then my
that's
counselor
really
come into
great.
play, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, Rebecca, help me. So yeah.
Listen, I just learned about this last year, like
Yeah.
going through a friendship breakup. I turned 30 last year, the first time in my life I ever went through a toxic,
Man,
hard friendship breakup. And I went on this deep
that's the
dive about
worst.
attachment styles, and I had never done
Yeah.
counseling.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh. I mean, the friendship breakup was hard, but I
Yeah.
learned so much about myself that I wept. I was like, wow,
Look at
wow.
me.
And like you
Oh,
said,
that's why I do that. Mm-hmm.
exactly. And I was toxic in a lot of areas of my life from being
Child,
anxious.
same.
And so, like you said, 60% of it is naming it.
Yeah.
And when you listen, at least for me, when I've listened to different podcasts and studies on the different attachments, they all circle back to
Mm.
affirmation, speaking over yourself. Like
Yep.
there's power in words, like you
Come
said.
on.
And simple affirmations for me as a kid could have
Yeah.
kept me closer towards secure.
Okay.
Nothing that was costly. It wasn't like, oh, you need to
Yeah.
buy me something. You need to
Yep.
like,
His
fly me
words.
across the world. It was just words. And I
You're
find it so
doing good.
fascinating. And
Mm-hmm.
so, yeah.
I just want to affirm what you just said. We talked about Madeline earlier, and I remember when I was doing some deep childhood wound work with my counselor. It's called part work, where you start to kind of identify these little parts of you. And for me, like 13-year-old Toni, it was like super
Hmm.
hard. 7-year-old Toni was super hard to address and face. I remember my counselor Richards, we were doing some trauma therapy, and he was like, I want you to get a picture or a doll or whatever, something that represents a happy moment of your childhood. And it was Madeline. It was that Madeline doll. I had to find it on eBay. And he said, I want you to put it in a place where every single morning when your daughter gets up, you can affirm her. And I'm not kidding you. If you're watching any parts of this, I literally every single morning at 8 a.m., I have this little note and it says, affirm, hug Dylan, who's my daughter. And
Hmm.
I used to have Madeline there because it represented a part of my childhood. And I would speak over to my daughter affirmations that I needed to hear when I was her age.
Hmm.
And when I tell you, I don't know what in the neurotherapy has happened here, but it has healed me in so many ways. And it's
Hmm.
simple things. You are smart. You are
Yep.
kind. You are beautiful inside and out. You're brave. You're loved by your family, by God, and by Jesus. That's it.
Hmm.
And speaking those things over her really simultaneously was healing the little girl that needed those affirmations. And so I would even encourage any parents or non parents out there that are listening to maybe not give yourself affirmations that you need to hear today as a 32-year-old, 27-year-old, 21-year-old, but maybe affirmations that you really deeply longed to hear for as little girls or little boy, and speak those over you. Because I don't
Yeah.
know, there's something about it.
Yeah, it's powerful. And it's one of the
Yeah.
first things we see with God in
Yeah.
scripture. Like he spoke into existence.
That's good.
Like it's just something about speaking over something, someone
That's good.
simply changes a lot. And so I
Yeah.
did see that when you texted me, I saw your calendar. I wasn't being
Oh,
nosy or anything,
yes.
but when you asked to change the
Zoomed
time,
in. I know. I
that
love
was
it.
the only thing I saw, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow, like that
Yeah.
is so beautiful. Like
Yeah,
that
because you be
that's amazing.
forgetting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you don't have those things as a child, it's not familiar to you to wake up
Right.
every morning and
Yep.
say affirmations. Like, and so I have some friends named Marquise and Crystal Cox who you should totally have on the podcast. They're incredible. But Crystal introduced this concept to me called awkward, mechanical, natural.
Mm.
Typically, when we're trying to break generational curses or cycles or patterns, unhealthy rhythms that we have in our life, we have to recognize that we won't just like shift, that it won't just be like a sharp turn, but it'll be a slow and steady process. And the process typically is awkward and then
Mm.
mechanical and then natural. And I can remember the first times, words are not my thing. I mean, it's weird because I'm a writer, but words of affirmation, like, that's weird to
Mhm.
me. I'd be like, what do you need that for? Okay. And so the first
Same.
time I did it for my daughter, it was so awkward for the both of us, I'm sure. And I was like, you are like so cool. It's crazy. And you're awesome. You're awesome. Like it just wasn't good. I couldn't figure it
Yeah.
out. And so then I said, all right, I want to get better at this. This is so awkward for me and her. I'm going to set a reminder for myself every day. Then I was forgetting to do it sometimes. And I'm going to list out in that little calendar invite the affirmations I'm going to say. And I
Mm.
just did some deep work in myself and with the Lord. Like, what did I need as a little girl? And the truth is, that's not natural. That's mechanical. That is
Mhm.
something is reminding me there is a system. These are words that I'm going to say, and it feels like you're a robot. And then all of a sudden, you realize that God really did make us to heal. He created our good bodies to be able to heal themselves, restore themselves, all these things, even our minds. And now I can just like spit it off like it's nobody's business because it's
Mm.
natural to me now to affirm her.
Right.
And so I just would offer up that, like, and just be reminded that it's going to take some time and some grace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's powerful. That's so
Yeah.
powerful. Um, I'm gonna do that when the good Lord blesses me with a
That's right. He
daughter,
will.
son. Come
Sweet little
on.
girl. Yeah.
um, okay, so your book, you've shared your story again so many times. There's been
Yeah.
so much hurt.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of betrayal,
Yeah.
abandonment, broken promises,
Hmm.
and for me, my toxic trait, which I feel like
This is good.
is partially toxic and partially like
Maybe not.
wise. But if
Okay.
someone
The
like
gift with
you,
a shadow side.
I'm either for you, I'm all the way here, or I'm not. I'm the same in
I
in
don't
that
even know
sense.
you.
And so,
I never
oh
met
my
you.
gosh,
I know. This is me. You're but a
Tony,
mist. You are but a mist.
Tony,
I know. I know. I literally know. I
Tony.
want to be better, but the detachment is on 100. I'm out. I don't even know who you are. Never met you in my life.
Tony, I've never met you. We could have done so much life together. I don't know you anymore. Like you are non-existent to me. And
It's
I'm
true.
just like, okay, yes, if to heal, maybe you don't need to go to that same coffee shop y'all went to or that park or that
Yeah.
restaurant, that store, whatever, so that, you won't just constantly think about that and your mind is trying to
Yeah.
heal, your body's trying to heal, right?
Yeah.
But for me, again, if I'm done with you, like I'm so done with you. But
Done.
you have this different, like going through a divorce, you
Yeah.
have a son by
Yeah.
your ex husband.
Yeah.
Your last name, Collier, it carries
Uh-huh.
both your platform
Yeah.
and your past. Has it
Yeah.
ever been hard to carry
Wow.
that name, especially since your son shares it with your ex husband? Like,
Yeah.
have you learned to hold both the
Yeah.
beauty and the tension in that?
Okay, this is such an interesting question because I've gotten this question at different phases of this healing journey. So, for
Mm,
context, for any of you listening, we haven't met, you don't know my story. 2 years ago, September 2023, I got a call from my now ex husband that he was being extorted by someone he hired for sexual favors. This was not the first time in our marriage. It was the first time that I knew in a long time. I thought we had healed, I thought we had gone to counseling, all the things. But it's just this repetitive behavior and not a lot of repentance and all the things. And so the first thing that people started asking me was, are you going to keep your last name? And I'm going to be honest, like, I think what I went through was so traumatic that I couldn't even think that far ahead. I just was
mhm,
so in, I'm like, my whole world is falling apart. Like, I'm so much, I lost so much. I don't think I could have afforded to lose anything else. Like, even if it
mm,
wasn't good, even if I didn't like it, I was just like, I'm holding on to what I have left, you know? And I just couldn't even process or think about, like, okay, what are we gonna do with my books and my names all over everything? I couldn't process it. So about a year passed, and again, I get this question all the time. So somebody asked me, and it was the first time I think I got curious about it. Like, am I gonna keep my last name? Like, I done been married twice. I'm like, Lord Jesus, I don't want another third last name. I don't know. And then my maiden name is McCarthy, and I'm like, sweet Jesus, what? Tony McCarthy? What are you even talking about? Tony Mac? Like, are we going Tony Mac? Like, what are we gonna do? And again, it just was just like, I'm not gonna think about it. I am not kidding you, and I tell you, maybe 3 or 4 days ago, for the first time, I felt like maybe this is something I really need to start praying about. And I don't know why yet. I mean, I am genuinely surrendered and just following the Lord's lead. And I don't know what that means. I'm excited to process it in counseling on Thursday because I'm like, why am I having these thoughts now to change my last name, to start over, to have a new identity? And I don't know what it is yet. Here's what I do know, and I think maybe this will help someone. We don't have to change everything all at once. That was painful.
that's good.
Like, I still have pictures of my ex-husband in my phone. I never went on a deleting spree
Mhm,
because I feel like that's what we do to avoid pain.
mhm,
We pretend like it didn't happen. I am taking, I'm taking all of our pictures down off social media. You're dead to me. I don't want to see
mhm,
you because I don't want to be reminded of the grief. And I think
mhm,
for me, I've gotten to a point in my healing journey where I do want to be reminded of the grief. I
mhm,
do want to remember that this really sucked. Because the contrast of that is that I've seen the goodness of God in the land of the living. And I just don't think we get a whole lot of resurrection if we're avoiding death. Sometimes things have to die, and sometimes we have to watch it burn to the ground. And from that place, I think we get to call on the Lord. We get to witness and experience his rescue. And I think that's better than avoiding it. And so I'm riding my last name out until the wheels fall off. I don't think my son really knows what's going on. Praise the Lord, because he's 3. And I'm going to get really curious about why it is that I'm now all of a sudden thinking about changing my last name.
mm,
Um, and hopefully, not hopefully, and the Lord will reveal it to me and he's going to
mhm.
expose it and I will figure it out. And I don't know. Girl, who I'm going to
Absolutely.
be, I don't even know. Child.
T Mac, you're so
Yeah.
funny.
Tony Mac is crazy, huh? Toby Mac and Tony Mac, girl. Hell, on the road. We going on the road.
You
Isn't that
from
funny?
Texas. You from Texas.
I'm from
It's a
Texas.
Texas.
Tony Mac.
It's a it's a Texas last name for sure.
We'll figure it
Okay,
out.
so for someone who feels disconnected from the
Yeah.
faith, your
Yeah.
book is solely around community, finding
Yeah.
community, why it's
Yeah.
important. Can
Yeah.
community still play a healing role even outside the church context?
Absolutely. I think about John chapter 11. I went to a women's shelter this morning. I get to do a Bible study with them every month. And today I just felt led to walk them through John 11. And at first glance, as a believer, John 11 is like Jesus didn't mess around and raised a man from the dead who had been dead for 4 days. And that's like the miracle of the story.
Hmm.
But right at the beginning of the story, we see this line that says, Martha and Mary lived in a town named Bethany, and Bethany was not very far from Jerusalem. And so a lot of their Jewish friends came to be with them. If we remember the story well, what we know is the reason why Jesus didn't get to Lazarus until he had been dead for 4 days is because he was on the road doing ministry in Judea.
Mm.
Jesus was on the way to do a miracle for sure. And in the meantime, Mary and Martha had their people to catch their
Mm.
tears, to make space for them to grieve, to probably cook them food, clean their house. Like,
That's good.
another part of that story that just kind of came up in my mind is the very ending. I think it's verse 38 or 39, where Jesus asks the people standing around to move the stone. Which is so
Mm.
interesting because I'm like, now, homeboy, if you got the power and the divinity to raise this brother from the dead, you don't think you could have just flickered the wrist and move the you could move the stone. We out here crying, we grieving, he
It's
dead.
been 4 days. My goodness.
My guy, you could lift a finger or two. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's because that I think it's because Jesus wants us to be a part of the miracle.
Mm.
He wanted their friends to help.
Mm-hmm.
Because I
Mm-hmm.
think he wanted to show us that the way forward will always be with God and with his people.
Mm.
And that's what I've seen. When I think about the chapter or the verse in Luke where it's like, give and it'll be given to you, pressed down, shaken together, running over, like overflowing, man will pour into your bosom. I think about this idea that humanity was always God's plan A. He may not drop a beetle bug from the sky, but that neighbor that knows and loves you and is retired and not using their second car may gift it to you. He may not
Mm.
furnish your whole home by, just flick of the wrist and all your furniture's in there, but your friends will build the Amazon wish list and your
Mm-hmm.
daughter's room will be furnished and your kids and you will sit on a couch that was given to you by a friend, and you will sleep in a bed that was given to you by your real estate agent friend who stages houses. And like, humanity's always been a part of God's plan for us to be blessed. And I
Mm-hmm.
think for those of you listening that's been the strong friend for too long, avoiding everybody and everything, you're actually not getting to experience the fullness of God's design
Yeah.
because you won't let anybody help you. You won't
Yep.
let anybody in. He designed us to be connected to each
Mm-hmm.
other. Period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's so
Yep.
good. You're speaking to my soul. I
Yeah.
struggle with asking
It's
for
hard.
help, like
I
being a
know. No,
strong
I do too.
friend, and
Let me not
and
even, I'm only speaking from a place of authority because I have been the strong friend and I've done it
mm-hmm.
wrong. It
Mm-hmm.
humbled me. It was
Yeah.
embarrassing to ask
Mm-hmm.
for help with my lawyer retainer every month going through this divorce because my ex-husband wouldn't end it because he wanted me to sign an NDA. Like, it was
Mm.
embarrassing to borrow money from my parents for the first time since I
Yeah.
was in college.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't feel good
Yeah.
until you realize that God's people will actually come for you, which means that you're actually really loved, which is what we've wanted all along.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally.
Surprise.
Literally. It took me, so Tony and I are in a group, a
Mhm.
birthday group that is still just
Yeah.
start. Talk about
Can you
community.
imagine?
Oh
It's
my
almost been a
gosh.
year, girl. What we
A
doing out here? Like 7, 8
year.
months we've been in this text group going hard.
I've
I know.
I've been in so many. No,
But
typically
they
you
fall
start a
off.
birthday.
I
Yes, they
know,
fall out. It's like
bro.
after the dinner or whatever the thing
Thank
is,
y'all. Good
the
meeting y'all.
celebration, right? And it's silent. And this
Crazy.
group, our friend
Yeah.
Jamie, she had a birthday back in May, and just everybody's in the group chat, and it's
Yeah.
still thriving. People are putting prayer requests, just sharing vulnerable things that they're
Yeah.
walking through in life. And I bring
Yeah.
it up because I recently put a GoFundMe in there. And Tony,
Yeah.
I literally,
Tell
it
me.
took me like 6, 7. I did not try to do no pun intended with that. Oh my
Zim.
God.
Help us, Lord, please.
It really was. I'm gonna say 7, 8. It was about 7, 8 months. My friend told me to do it, and it
Months?
was
I'm not gonna lie. I
just
thought you were gonna say weeks. I'm not even gonna
no, no,
lie
no,
to you,
no,
man.
no, no, no. That's how
Months.
much my pride and
Oh,
how much I like hate asking for help. And I put it in a chat, and
ooh.
like Tony and several other people like just gave, and I was just teary-eyed because again, like you
Mm-hmm.
stated, it just showed me like, Ashley, there are people who believe in you. There are people who want to help you. Like, you
Yep.
don't have to do this alone. Like, literally, you don't have to do this alone.
It's
And
the best. Oh, I have the chills.
it it really is
Oh,
like
I
your
know.
book community, I'm telling, and just how you talk about
Yeah.
each person, how again, how your daughter's bedroom was
Yep.
furnished, and
Yeah.
the flooding, the miracle of the flood. I mean, chapter
I
12, I
know.
think it was chapter 12. Whew, when you were talking about all your spiritual warfare, good Lord, I was like,
Child,
oh
we
my
almost died out
goodness.
here. We almost died for real. We just saw a demon the other
and
night. Girl, it's crazy out here. For real.
and
Okay.
oh my gosh,
Oh yeah.
and it all points back to community and
Yeah.
Jesus, of course. And it's just like,
Yeah.
it's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And so after you wrote this book, what
Yeah.
did you learn about yourself?
Oh my gosh. Well, one, like you said, I had some pride. And I mean, genuinely, I pride myself on being humble. Okay. Like, I have always thought, like, I'm everybody's homegirl. I'm not good enough to get my hands dirty. Like, I'm like, Lord, I think you got the pride out. And sweet baby Jesus, when I realized, I'm gonna tell you when I realized it. Story time, guys. Lean on in. I was in a counseling session, and my mentor, Joe Saxton, essentially told me that I needed to move out of my house. My ex-husband was coming back and forth. It's very difficult to heal in the place or with the person that broke you in the first place. And
Mhm.
I didn't want to move. I mean, I was like, I don't have any strength. Like, I am not sleeping. I'm not eating. I like a little crackhead out here. My head already big. I can't do this. I'm small. I'm skinny. I'm losing weight left and right. I probably lost like 20 pounds in a couple of weeks. It was crazy.
Wow.
And I was like, I can't move, man. And I just remember her telling me like it like this wasn't the rescue you wanted, it was the one you needed, which is what my counselor told me. And
Mhm.
Joe was like, if you want real freedom, you're going to have to start over. Like some of the things you won't be able to hold on to, you're going to have to start over in this area. And so I called my friend Jen, and I'm not kidding you, man. It was the Lord. This is what happens when you listen to the Lord and his people, wise people. I came and viewed this house on a Friday with my friend Belinda because I was so nervous to come by myself. The next day at 1 p.m., the lease was in my email
Mhm.
because the landlord and his wife had just gotten married and she had been a single mom for 7 years.
Mhm.
And she just knew the struggle. And I got in the house and I realized that there were some things that I could salvage and bring from my old house, but there was a lot I couldn't. And I have like a Scandinavian type vibe, like a black and white, like with the little wood, you know what I mean? And so it's like a look. And I want my house to look like a look. And I couldn't afford it. And I
Mm.
couldn't afford to get a new couch, a new bed. My daughter had outgrown her bed already, and it was broken, and we couldn't fix it because we were trying to take it apart. And I just remember telling my counselor, I was like, my friends, they want to put together like an Amazon wish list and like donate furniture to me. Like, what if it's ugly? I am embarrassed that I am even telling this story right now. Like, what if it's like all different colors? Like, what if they don't really know my style? And I'm not kidding you. My counselor gently was like, this is how they talk. They'd be like, can I offer up a different perspective? And I was like, well, no. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't say no. She said, I just want to ask you, Toni, when you walk into your home, do you want to say that you feel lavished or loved?
Ooh.
Because your friends are trying to love you.
Mm.
And now we sit on a couch that was given to me by my friend Ashley, and I watch my son do pretend cartwheels on a rug that was given to me by my friend Lindsay. I am currently rubbing my little toes on a rug that was given to me by my group therapy group, my confessional community group. I look in a
Mm.
mirror at my little outfit every day that was given to me by Lisa Whittle. My friend
Mm.
Jackie Hill Perry furnished my daughter's room. Um, there was a pride,
Mhm.
and it had to go.
Mhm.
And I just learned that I'm still prideful in this area, in this, I'm still finding identity in how much I can do and how much I can
Mm.
provide. And the Lord was just like, that has to die so that I
Mhm.
can resurrect you in a different area, a different way. I want you to be humble. This is an area of pride. You got to snuff
Mm.
it out. And it hurt like heck. I was like, oh, I can't believe it. And then now every single day I look around my house and I'm like, this is a house that's been loved. And that's
Wow.
way better.
Wow. Wow.
Hmm.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
girl.
That's so deep. Oh my God. I know. And you
It's
say,
real.
like, when I was listening to that single parent, even her story, the realtor,
Yep.
when I was
Yep.
reading your book, I was like, man, God was thinking about you when she was going through her situation. I don't
7
know the full
years.
story there, but
Uh-huh.
prior, just
Yeah.
7 years prior, he was thinking about Tony.
Yeah.
And I just think he really
Isn't that
does
beautiful?
have it all laid out. Like, we
Yep.
can't handle the full him if we wanted to, but he really has it handed out.
I know.
Tony, okay, I'm gonna ask you a few more questions,
Okay.
unrelated to the topics that we've been talking about in your book. If you
Ooh,
weren't
come on,
doing
switch it up.
ministry, if you
Ooh,
were not doing
I got it.
ministry, what would you be doing?
I already got it. Food vlogger all the way. I actually already got the Instagram. It's called Tony's Top 3. Okay. You don't have to follow
Really?
it because I'm not really doing anything with it right now. But when I tell you, I have a whole concept. Let me get canceled from ministry. Let me. You about to catch me on the Tony's Top 3. I'm just going to switch the usernames out. Don't even worry. I'm going to keep all my little followers. I'm going to switch the usernames out. And here's what I'm going to offer to you in the name of Jesus. I'm going to offer you a Rolodex, a food Rolodex, to where if you go
Mm.
to any city, you can go to tonystop3.com and you literally can click on a city and a restaurant, and within the restaurant, you can find the 3 things that you must order at that restaurant.
Wow. You
Tony's
really got it.
Top 3.
I mean, do you have to not be in ministry to get this thing going? Because this
Baby, I'm
sounds like
just
a great
tired.
idea.
You know what I'm saying? But it's coming. It's coming. I'm just tired. The kids, I'm making peanut butter and jelly right now. You know what I'm saying? But truly, like, I don't actually know where that came from, but I love food. I think one of the
Mm.
greatest gifts the Lord gave us is taste buds. I mean, he just literally did not have to give us taste buds. Like, we could have
He
just been
didn't.
eating for nutrition and we could have kept it
Yeah.
moving. And he
Wow.
decided, he saw
Wow.
fit that we would have taste buds and we would be able to
Hmm.
like experience different flavors. And not only that, but we would be able to experience different cultural flavors,
Mm.
different foods from different places that have the mark and smell of a different culture, a different aroma. Like,
Mm.
I am
I'm
obs-
getting hungry.
I'm getting hungry right now. Where the peanut butter and jelly at? So I would be a food vlogger.
Do you find the food better in Texas or Atlanta?
That pains me. I can't believe you even asked me this when I have Texas tattooed on my freaking arm in front of all my new friends on the podcast. I really deeply want to say Texas, but I can't lie.
Wow.
Atlanta has the better food. And
Wow.
I know.
Wow, Tony.
I know. Now, Austin is a very close runner up,
Okay.
because I feel like Austin has, unlike Houston and Dallas and some of the other places that's like barbecue all the way, I feel like
Hmm.
Austin has embraced other cultures, but
Hmm.
Atlanta did it first. Like, I don't know if it's because we have the largest hub airport in the
Okay.
world, whatever, but I
Hmm.
mean, we have so much food, Ashley, like so many different places, so many different kinds that are so
Mm.
good. Atlanta, if I'm reading the Michelin correctly, has the most Michelin star rated restaurants in the country. Like, there are
Okay.
just so many.
Okay. Wow. I don't think I ever knew that.
I
I've
know.
I've gone to
I feel
Atlanta. I've
bad.
I've been once, so I
Well,
it's
I
been
got you if
over
you
a
come
decade.
again. I got you for
Yes.
real. It's
Tony
one
Tony's
heck of a
top 3.
list.
Tony's top 3.
Coming
Let
in
me know.
hot. Let me know.
Okay, okay. What book are you reading? What podcast are you listening to
Ooh,
besides your own
actually,
that's been helping you in this
I'm
season?
reading a book called Killer Teams.
Okay.
Um, I am really, really good at gathering people, but maybe not always the right people. I don't build the
Okay.
best teams because I'm just like,
Okay.
everyone has to be a part. Come on.
Mhm.
But there are some
Mhm.
things that I feel like the Lord has strategically placed people for with different gifts and talents and all the things. And so I'm
Mhm.
trying to do a better job at building and cultivating a healthy culture and team when it comes to my organization. I actually don't even know why. I think the Lord maybe is
Mhm.
preparing me to grow the team, preparing me
Mhm.
what the future looks like. I don't even know, but I found this book. It was recommended to me by a church that I consult, and I love it so very much. And so, Killer Teams,
Okay.
Lovejoy. The author's last name is Lovejoy. I forgot his first name, but it's
Okay.
so good. If you're leading anybody at all, it's
Okay.
such a good book. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Reminds me of the 3 R's that you said in your book.
Yep. It's literally
Mm.
building a great team. Like, how do you build a
Hmm.
lineup? It's
Wow.
so good too. It's really humbling. It's so good.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, one last question. What
Yeah.
is a habit or ritual, small discipline practice that you
Oh,
do regularly to
okay. I feel
help
like I
stay
keep breaking.
grounded?
Okay, cool. I feel like I keep breaking the rules. It is one rule. It's called a replenishment cycle. So that okay,
Okay.
I am not breaking the rules. The one rule is to have a replenishment cycle. And a
Okay.
replenishment cycle is picking 3 to 4 things that really give you life. So for me, it's getting my hair done. Okay. If my hair is raggedy, I don't know. I feel raggedy. I know that may be vain, but it is what it is.
No.
I actually surrendered doing my nails to the Lord. I let that go. I have regular little nails now, but I do like to get my toes done. I like to get a little pedicure. That's something that like refreshes me. It replenishes
Hmm.
me.
Hmm.
Outdoors is a big one for me. Like if I am inside for too long, I'm mad at everybody. I want to go walk. I want to bike. I've got a 20-pound weighted vest. Like I want to be outside. I want to move my good body.
Hmm.
I want to be active. Those are really big things. Worship is also a thing for me. I love to sing, not well, but I love it. The Lord don't care.
Mm.
Okay. So I don't really care about you whippersnappers. And the whole idea of a replenishment cycle though is that when you choose the things that replenish you, you have to choose the cadence too. So
Mm.
for me, I need to get outside and or move my good body in the gym 4 times a week. Like not once in a while every now and again. No, I need it 4 times a week.
Mm.
I need to
Okay.
worship at least 5 times a week. Like belting out, singing with the Lord. I need to be
Mm.
outside, honestly, 6 days a week.
Hmm.
Every single week. My nails and toes are more monthly things. I get my toes done every month. I get my hair done every 3 weeks. Everything's on a rhythm. Rebecca Lyons talks about this, and I
Mm.
think she's amazing. But it's creating these rhythms because what you begin to realize is we drift towards chaos. So if
Okay.
we're constantly drifting towards chaos and sin, and we have sin nature in us, then we have to put things in place that continually pull us back towards holiness, pull us back towards healing,
Mm.
pull us back towards wholeness. And for me, it's that cycle. And I'm telling you, when I start missing stuff, I be mad at everybody. Do
Mm.
not talk to
Yeah.
me. My hair raggedy. Okay. I didn't spray too much dry shampoo up in here. Do not talk to me no more. Like, I just don't feel like myself. And so
Yeah.
I would encourage anyone that's listening or watching to develop a replenishment cycle. It may just be one thing that you just do and you get on a
Mm.
rhythm and then you add another one and then another one, et cetera, et cetera. But for some of you, getting up and making sure that you go outside and walk 3 times a week ain't crazy and something
Okay.
that your good body may actually need.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
those are
Hmm.
my things.
Wow. Wow. Tony, it's
Huh.
been such a gift having
Yay,
you on
I'm
the
glad.
podcast today.
I'm so glad.
Friends, if you want to keep up with Tony's journey, you should follow her on Instagram, Toni J. Collier. Purchase her
Yay.
book that she just recently released, Don't Try This
Yay.
Alone. You can find it wherever books are sold. And honestly, she is someone you want to connect and follow because she is authentic, she is
Yeah.
vulnerable, and she's going to lead you straight to Jesus. So, Tony, thank you for being on the podcast.
I'm so grateful. Tag me in all the things. We're going to tell everybody about it.
I will. Thank you.